Hello everyone, welcome to Trade. Today we're going to be seeing the trade analysis for 23rd December, the expiry analysis. So what I've opened here is the 15-minute chart of Banknifty. Today we ended up being choppy, but there were two good moves for scalping. Since I missed the first move, I just kind of stayed out on the trade, and the second move came late at say about 2:15. So I'm just going to show you on this chart. This is where I have the daily CPR. See, I did mention that 39,000 or this R1 we could face a good resistance, right? As I could log into trade only post 11, I kind of missed this move. This was a beautiful move on 15 minute when we got this inverted hammer. We could have shorted and covered it. It was almost a move of 250 or 280 points, I guess. This was one of the best moves, and then remained choppy. And then the next good move came here when this kind of this hammer came in at 15 minute, and after that we got a short covering until almost 35,100, another 320 points up. So if anybody had capped, this was only two moves where option buyers could have made money. The rest of the day it was pretty choppy and flat. There was nothing happening. Now coming back to this chart and looking at the possibility for tomorrow. See, since some up move has come from here, right, and we have broken this resistance line of 35,050, if tomorrow we start trading above this, whether we get a gap up or a gap down, we'll have to wait and see how SGX Nifty opens. But as of now, if for tomorrow, if we start trading above this red line, that is 35,050, we might face some resistance here, that is 35,230, around this point, this blue line where I'm marking, because this is where we have a gap and this is one of the gap border. And even if this breaks, I'm sure probably we will end up touching this. This can be a very good move for buyers. We might get a sudden impulse move on the upside until 35,500 if this gap border breaks at 35,220. So that is one move on the upside, and any move on the downside is if this trend line breaks. See, we don't know. See, we after all this fall that we had, right, from past few days, now we don't know if this up move, this few days of up move that we got is going to continue, or is this some kind of a correction, where we have come down, we're going up, we're kind of forming this consolidation, and probably a break of this trend line, even going and touching this 35,200 and then breaking this trend line is also a possibility. It could be like in corrective wave that's happening the past few days, so breakdown also is possible. So we can keep both options open. So what would be the confirmation for the long trade and the short trade is, long trade is trading above 35,050, and if 35,235 is taken out, and the short trade is this trend line is taken out, probably we'll use the CPR levels along with this price action of 34,700 and 34,410, and obviously this I don't think will slip so much tomorrow. Now just looking at the open interest for Banknifty, see, we still have some good resistance at 35,000. A lot of put sellers also have come in. The call sellers are there, they haven't exited, but even the put sellers have added. So even 35,000 can be a good support if we get a gap up. And anything below the next support, the major support is 34,800. As we saw today, 34,800 could not be broken. And a very good resistance. Why I said even that gap border is, let me show you on the chart, why I said even this gap border can be a good resistance is because of this OI. We have only call sellers here, that is, around 35,200. That would be somewhere over here, 35,235, right? So even this can be a very good resistance. So, this is when it comes to Bank Nifty. And on this chart, see, tomorrow CPR is showing a bullish scenario. We have a higher CPR value, and any break of R1 probably, and these are very close levels, right? So in case R1 breaks R2, it would be difficult to trade, but yeah, it is possible. And just to note one more thing, this is the EMAs that I have. The pink is 200, black is 100, 50 and 20. See, when we came up today, we have taken resistance at the 100 EMA. So, and even the gap fill and 200 EMA is coming in at 35,620, right? So even that could be a possibility if we get a good move, probably on the 15-minute chart touching 200 EMA is possible, or maybe it was just a touch until 100 EMA and again we might dip also. But for the dip confirmation is when kind of this trend line breaks, what I've drawn here. So there are a couple of scenarios. If we open flat, right? If we open flat, we might take flat in the sense not a very huge gap down or a gap up. If we open somewhere in this region where we close around 35,069, there might be a small up move until here and then we might take resistance. So we'll have to be careful. So a lot would depend on how the market would open tomorrow. In case we get a huge gap up, then yeah, there'll be a sudden move until 35,500 is what I'm expecting. And for some reason, if there's a gap down and if this breaks, this trend line breaks, yeah, then we can see some dip on the downside. So this is for Banknifty, the possible trades that I have. Again, tomorrow I'll be only able to trade post 11. If I miss the first move, I'll just probably stay out. And this is my scenario until the new year. I'll be able to trade only post 11. And this is the Nifty chart. See, Nifty kind of made a good up move today. We got a dip until the CPR. We didn't touch the CPR, but from here started going and probably taken resistance at this trend line that we had marked. So Nifty is quite simple. There's no, like, the trade plan for Nifty is quite simple based on the price action. That is, if this we start trading above this black trend line, probably we might touch 17,100. If we start trading below this trend line, yeah, we might slip below. And few levels that we can mark is these two red trend lines. I'll keep it as it is, and the next support can come here and even here. So in case we dip, probably we might see even 16,800, 850 or even 16,819. Now just looking at the open interest, see, a very good support is at 16,900. We have some put sellers, even put sellers have been added today. Anywhere close to 16,900 probably we can buy, and a very good resistance at 17,000. 17,000 is actually a very good resistance because there's only call sellers, there's no put sellers that have been added today. So in case we come somewhere close to 17,000, probably we can see a dip until 16,900. And that's what even the chart is saying. Where's 17,000 on the chart? Yeah, 17,000 is close to R1. So somewhere close to R1, if it's not taken out, we can see some kind of a reversal towards CPR until 16,900 is a possible scenario in Nifty for tomorrow. And as of now, the global market is flat. The SGX Nifty is also quite flat. Dow Jones is just showing a gap down of 40 points. So we'll have to wait and see how the R market opens tomorrow. And that's it for Thursday expiry. Thank you.